There's a question I want to address for the African diaspora that I see asked on memes and social media. I want to address it through teaching the African spiritual science so we may grow and evolve. The question is, who did Africans pray to before slavery? Before I answer that question, a quick note to understand is that the continent of Africa developed a spiritual system over many thousands of years. A deeper look into the spiritual systems around the continent will show you that many of them had the same ideas conceptually, but called them different names, the same as we do today with God and Allah. What we know as borders and countries in Africa didn't exist until the Berlin Conference in 1884. The Kemetic system that most of us are familiar with is the one I will be referencing and is one of the most recent ancient African spiritual systems. Their system we know the best because they left it in stone. Again, the question is, who did Africans pray to before slavery? The quick answer is this. They didn't pray to anyone because they knew they were gods. The question itself presumes the idea that ancient Africans were religious who worshipped, prayed, and thought as we do today. In modern times, our thought processes and paradigm have a completely religious bias. We must reorient our thinking from religion to spirituality. The ancient Africans had a completely different but holistic paradigm based on spiritual science principles. Before I move forward, I want to make sure we're on the same page, so I need to define and explain the difference between religion and spirituality. I also want to express that I'm speaking about how these ideas are practiced in our daily lives and not necessarily a strict book interpretation. First, religion. Religion is something that you're taught. In the case of the Christian religion, it's based on a set of doctrines and dogma that one must accept and follow in order to belong to the religion. Second, spirituality. For the ancient Africans before slavery, they would say that spirituality is what we're born with. It's recognizing that you are a soul in a human body. It's being in touch with your own divine self. It's your natural state. Spirituality is ancient. It's based on ideas that you are a unique aspect of the Creator with a unique spiritual and life experience. I know from experience as a Christian, we were taught that religion and spirituality are the same thing. They're not. The idea of a unique spiritual experience was a theological threat to Christianity. Eliminating that threat of individuality is an aspect of religion to this day. Christian fathers essentially despiritualized the ancient teachings. In the ancient African paradigm, the real you is the Ka, or soul, not the physical body. For them, the Ka emerged from the source of creation. Two major points to understand here. Number one is a Ka, or soul, is what ancient Africans viewed themselves as, not the physical body. They were eternal beings in a transitory form as a physical body. Number two, the Ka formed the physical body. The Ka is eternal and has many physical incarnations for a reason I will touch on later. The Ka was created from the stuff of the Neter of Neters, or God, and the Ka created the physical body from itself. I know the idea that God didn't directly create everyone may be difficult for some, but I'm expressing African spiritual science, not religious doctrines. That was their paradigm. It was different than how we are taught in religion. Now, mind you, the religion that we know is the ancient African paradigm that was repackaged and given to the world as the Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So now that you have a foundation of the African spiritual paradigm and its contrast to our modern religious paradigm, let's get to the question. Who did the Africans pray to before slavery? So here's the answer. Ancient Africans before slavery knew there was one God that created everything in existence from itself. It would be analogous to God being an ocean, with the ocean being symbolic of the entirety of existence. They thought that as a Ka, you are a drop in that ocean. As a Ka, you are the same stuff as the ocean, just not the same magnitude. Sticking with the analogy of the ocean, as Christians, we're taught to believe that as drops, we're different from the ocean. It's an absurd notion when you analyze it that way. Within the Christian paradigm, because we're different, we have to cultivate a relationship to God. When we ask the question, who did Africans pray to before slavery? It's with the mentality given to us through slavery that we even approach the idea. Again, it presumes the ancient Africans thought religiously as we do today. They had a different, holistic, and more empowering paradigm. Sticking with the ocean analogy, ancient Africans didn't pray to the ocean. They recognized that they were aspects of the ocean and it was in themselves. They would say that the ocean is a multitude of drops. That's logical, right? That's the ancient African spiritual science concept. The ancient Africans before slavery, understanding that they were drops or gods and goddesses, would seek to express and harness the power of the ocean already within and through their God self. The aspect of the God self they termed the higher Ka. Through a religious paradigm, we have been taught to pray to something outside ourselves, believing that we're separate from God and need to cultivate a favorable relationship with God. The ancient Africans taught that as an eternal Ka, you are on a journey to recognize your own divinity or God self. Expressing yourself as a Ka in flesh through many incarnations is one way that the higher Ka learns and emerges as a God self. As a human being, you simply work daily to strengthen your awareness of the connection to your higher Ka for guidance. Knowing they were a Ka, the ancient Africans didn't pray to something. They would turn inward, tap into the power of that ocean of consciousness, and as gods and goddesses create what they desired. Today, because we've been sold and bought the repackaged religion, we've forgotten who we are and feel powerless. We mostly pray for that repackaged God out there to rescue us because the belief is that we don't have the power to do it ourselves. It's time to wake up, gods and goddesses. Tap into your higher Ka, your spiritual self, and create what you desire. This knowledge was left in stone to rediscover. It's profound. You are powerful and have the power to create. I'm Reginald Ku Akaru signing out. Please like and share this video. If you're interested in connecting to your higher Ka and developing more spiritual knowledge beyond religion, you can click on the link below in the video description and go over to my website, www.comediccenteredliving.com, where I have many articles and e-courses that will show you how to connect with your higher Ka and develop your God self. Thank you for watching.